So, ayun guys, welcome to PURG's Triple E 131 review session. So, unfortunately, nagkaroon tayo ng 3 days na transport strike. Wala tayong F na session. But, the good thing is, wala tayong time constraints. So, madi-discuss natin lahat ng questions and the answers in depth. So, ayun, let's go. G. So, ayan, question 1. Which of the following statements is true for strong N-type semiconductor? Alright, so N-type semiconductor daw. In the first place, what makes an N-type semiconductor ba? In this case, ang majority carriers natin dapat electrons. Dapat mas maraming donor atoms kaysa sa acceptor. X na agad yung C and D because having it the other way makes a P-type semiconductor na. Majority carriers natin nun ay holes. Here's the thing. It says here, strong N-type semiconductor. Is it enough na mas marami lang donor atoms kaysa sa acceptor atoms natin? Well, apparently, hindi. Kailangan din ma-overcome ng donor atoms yung intrinsic carriers natin. If hindi, it's almost like walang naging effect doping. So, think of it as this. Magtitimpla ka ng Milo. If yung niligay mo na powder 1/4 lang ng sachet, syempre matabang yun. Unlike kapag inubos mo yung nasa pack, ayun, mas strong yung lasa nun. So, parang ganoon lang din sa semiconductor. Kaya ang sagot natin is letter B. Alright, next question. A non-uniformly doped semiconductor material at thermal equilibrium will... So, ayan daw. Letter A. Reach net zero carrier concentrations at steady state. Medyo mukhang mahirap to ah. Parang kailangan natin from the GOAT, the King, LeBron James. Nandiyan ka ba, boss?
Of course, madali lang yan. Well, that is not true kasi hindi nagka-cancel out. Or nawawala ang number of electrons and holes natin. Diba, nandyan pa rin sila. They are still present. In fact, hindi net zero carrier concentration. It should be zero net current at thermal equilibrium. Meron tayong net zero current kasi both may diffusion and drift components.
Ayun. So, letter D is correct. So, letter B, well, have a constant charge density along the semiconductor material. Well, hindi rin, this is not true then. Because remember, probabilistic ang nature ng electrons and holes natin, di ba? Sa isang semiconductor. Of course, meron sa material natin, merong areas na tightly packed yung mga electrons or yung holes. Meron naman sa ilang side na hindi ganun ka present yung ilang electrons or holes. So, yan, not true. And lastly, yung C, well, hindi lang naman positive voltage ang induce natin, di ba, kapag mayroong electric field. So, pwedeng din magkaroon siya ng negative na voltage. So, later on, makakita tayo ng examples about that. So, yan. Number 3. Which of the following statements is true about carrier action? Okay, sige. Letter A. Direction of drift current is against electric field. So, first of all, yes, drift is caused by the electric field. But the question is it against or along? Well, kapag may electric field, di ba, ang movement ng electrons ay against it. Pero guys, ang drift current ay in terms of holes, or in this case, positive charges, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, opposite siya sa pag-flow ng electrons. So, ang drift current ay along the electric field, not against. So, mali yung letter A. Okay, so letter B. Diffusion current goes from lower to higher concentrations. Okay, so sa mga circuit analysis natin, paano ba natin define yung current? Diba, it goes from higher potential to lower potential. Ang diffusion current is the flow of electrons din, diba? So current din siya in the same way. The same thing applies. So dapat, it's from higher to lower din. Kaya false yan. Okay, so letter C. Drift and diffusion current cannot coexist. Well, this is false na agad. Kasi diba sa previous examples natin, we learned na Pwede palang mag-exist ang drift and diffusion kapag thermal equilibrium. Hence, zero net current. So, false yan. So, last, band-to-band recombination generation is prevalent in silicon. Well, actually, quite weak ang silicon sa band-to-band recombination generation. Kasi meron siyang indirect band gap. So, makikita niyo yung graph na hindi pantay yung curve ng conduction band na valence band. So, isipin natin, hindi madaling makakatalon electron from conduction to valence band. So, unlike dito sa direct band gap semiconductors natin like gallium phosphide, gallium nitride, gas, na literally, nasa harapan or nasa baba niya lang yung curve. So, that's false. So, ang sagot natin, yeah, letter E, none of the above. Okay, yan. Number 4. Which of the following statements are true during thermal equilibrium? Okay, so letter A. Electron hole pair generation occurs in a semiconductor. Only electron hole pair generation lang. Okay, remember guys, ang meron tayo dapat is both generation and recombination. Diba? So, mali yan. Okay, letter B. And electrons will seek any energy in valence and conduction bands respectively. Well, this is not. Ang electron daw ay nag-occupy ng energy states in the conduction band sa valence band. Hindi sila nagsisik ng energy distributed sila according sa Fermi-Dirac equation natin. Right? So, that is false. Okay, next C. Free carriers from the dopants within the semiconductor material to produce a net current. Well, again, in thermal equilibrium, there is no net current, zero net current. While free carriers are inconstant, yung random movement na yun, di naman yun yung dahilan ba't nagkakaroon tayo ng ba't nagkakaroon tayo ng current, di ba? So, nagkakaroon tayo ng current kung merong electric field or voltage source. So, ito ang true. Kasi, di ba, dahil sa even doping, kakaroon tayo ng concentration gradient. Which, yung dahilan kung ba't tayo nagkakaroon ng diffusion. Okay, so, this is true. Ang sagot ay letter D lang. So, yan. Which of the following statements is true for depletion region? Sige. Diba, pag form ng depletion region sa p-side, and then yung electron sa n-side, magde-diffuse. And then, somewhere in the middle, mag-undergo sila ng ignition generation process. Pero kasi, pagkatapos nun, nag-iiwan sila ng ionized na dopant atoms. So, in effect, n-side, mga donor, nagiging positively charged ions. Sa p-side, nagiging negatively charged ions yung acceptors. So, yung ionization na yun creates the electric field. Electric field prevent sa other donors and acceptors na mag-go ulit ng recombination generation. Kaya, sa gitna na yan, sa depletion region na yan, hindi na gumagalaw or ipapal na yung mga carriers na. Fix na sila dyan. So, letter A is true. Sa letter B naman, electric field is needed for depletion region to exist. Well, sabi nga natin kanina, form ng electric field cause para magkaroon ng depletion region somewhere in the. So, yeah, that's true. Okay, letter C. Well, this is not. Kasi if that's the case, then wala tayo mapag-aaralan na 131 ngayon. Diba? Current can still flow, kaya tayo nagkaroon ng diodes, GT, other semiconductors. Okay, last one, letter D. Okay, PN junction natin ngayon. Lagyan natin ng external voltage. Let's connect positive side sa P side, then yung negative sa N side. What happens is, parang yung majority carriers natin, bibigyan sila ng extra push, makatawid, lagpas sa junction. And if we keep the connection for some time, mas marami nang mag-push na mobile carriers dun sa depletion region. Kaya liliit na yun. What if i-reverse natin? So, negative side sa holes, positive side sa electrons. So, different charges. So, mangyari, ma-attract. So, yung external voltage, parang pull niya ngayon away from the junction majority carriers natin. Kaya mas lalaki yung depletion region. So, ayan, letter D is true. Ang mali lang is letter C. Okay. Which of the following is or are true? So, yan, possible multiple answers. The probability that an electron is occupied state is always higher the closer the state's energy is to the Fermi energy level at all temperatures. So, recall natin Fermi-Dirac function natin. So, at T is equals to 0 Kelvin, yung probability daw, parang step function lang. So, kapag mas higher yung state energy mo sa Fermi level, so, 100%. If mas mababa, it's 0%. So, there's nothing in between, di ba? Paano naman pag temperature mo is greater than 0 Kelvin? So, ito na yung familiar tayo na hindi linear equation natin, right? So, nag-a-apply na if mas malapit yung state energy sa Fermi level, mas mataas yung probability. Mas malayo, edi mas lower. But it says here, at all temperatures, so this is false. In an N-type semiconductor at 0 Kelvin, there are no electrons in the conduction band. So, yan, this is true. This is factual. So, next. So, okay. Pares sila ng quantity. Pares ang quantity ng acceptor and atoms. But let us recall trip speed. In this case, di ba, mas mabilis ang donors compared to acceptors. So, syempre, if mas mabilis mag-drift, mas conductive siya kasi mas maraming electrons ang nakakapass through sa semiconductor natin. So, this is false. And lastly, yung D, well, this is already discussed dun sa isang examples natin ng pag-form ng depletion region. So, this is true. So, ang tama is letter B and D. Okay, next. Which of the following is true about the energy band diagram of 3 silicon samples daw at 100 degrees Celsius? Shown below. Shade all that apply. Okay. So, let us analyze yung tatlong samples natin as we go through yung choices.
So, paano na ba natin malalaman kung nasa thermal equilibrium ang mga samples natin? Well, let's look at Fermi energy levels ulit. Simple rule, guys. Ang E straight line. Lang non-negotiable. We can see that sa lahat ng samples, straight line laha. So, letter A is wrong.
Alright, next, letter B. Sample 1 is undoped, while sample 2 and 3 are doped with acceptor and donor atoms, respectively. Okay, so let's see. Sample 1. We can see yung Fermi level niya nasa gitna, 2%. And that's exactly ano yung sinasabi ng Fermi-Dirac equation natin, di ba? At thermal equilibrium, probability na nag-occupy ng state yung isang electron is 50%. So, naturally, sa gitna lang siya. So, di siya dope. How about sample 2? So, sabi dito, acceptor daw and donor atoms respectively. So, sample 2, acceptor nga ba yung denope dyan sa sample natin na yan? Well, actually, hindi. Kasi, yung Fermi level niya malapit sa conduction band. So, that means dapat yung nag-dominate na dopant natin should be donor, not acceptor. So, baliktad. The answer is letter C. Okay. Letter D. Sample 2 daw is less doped than sample 3. So we can see, para malaman yan, yung distance. Sino ba yung mas malapit dyan? So we can see na mas malapit yung sample 2 kasi konti na lang, pupunta na siya dun sa conduction band. Unlike dito sa sample 3 na meron pa konting space. So that means mas more doped yung sample 2 kaysa sa sample 3. So letter D is false. So ang tama lang dyan is letter C. Okay, next. The energy band diagram of a non-uniformly doped semiconductor at equilibrium is shown daw and sa bottom right. So which of the following statements are true? Okay. So let us recall, ba't nga ba nagbe-bend yung energy band diagrams natin? Kasi 'di ba, from the previous example, we can see yung conduction band, yung valence band, and Fermi level, they're all in straight lines. So why in this case, ba't sila nagbend ng ganyan? So long story short, this is due to doping. Okay, first things first. Pag nag-dope tayo, 'di ba? Pag nag-dope tayo, either you use acceptor or donor atoms, yung Fermi level corresponds accordingly. So kapag donors yung Fermi level natin pumupunta sa conduction band, kapag acceptors pumupunta sa valence band. So what if yung isang side lang yung i-dope natin and we will leave the other side undoped? So nangyari is aangat ngayon yung Fermi level ng kabila, pero the other will stay the same. Pero di ba nga, ang rule natin is thermal equilibrium. Kasi itong si Fermi level, gusto niya straight lang siya kahit anong mangyari. Kahit magunay mo yung mando, gusto niya straight talaga siya. So sasabihin ni conduction band tsaka ni valence band, Boss, ikaw na naman yan! Hindi pwede yun. Kailangan sumasabay kami sa'yo. Ang distance kasi between ng conduction band at valence band ay fixed. This is dependent on the material. So, unless ibahin mo yung compound, ibahin mo yung element ng material, tsaka lang siya magbabago. So, ang gagawin niya para mabalance ulit yung energy band diagram natin, sabihin nung conduction band and ng valence band, kami na lang mag-a-adjust. So ayun, nagbend yung energy band diagram ng conduction band and ng valence band, while yung Fermi level will always stay straight. So what happens is, ang nangyari, yung isang side mas nagiging parang p-type siya, no? And yung kabila is more like an intrinsic. So that's why in this case, sige, let's see. Sabi sa choices, it's an N-type semiconductor daw with its left end having higher impurity concentrations than the right end. Again, para sa mga technique ng mga EBD, check ulit natin yung Fermi level. We can see na yung Fermi level mas malapit dun sa valence band. Ibig sabihin, mas dominate ang acceptor atoms natin. With that in mind, mali na agad yung A and B. It's a p-type. Pero, ano dyan yung mas highly doped? Yung right ba or yung left? Again, technique ulit. Ulit. Tingnan ulit natin yung Fermi level. Yung left end. Kasi mas malapit siya dun sa valence band compared sa right end. So, in this case, ang sagot ay letter C. Yan. Okay, next. Ito. EBD ng transistor. So, the bottom image daw is a normally doped open-circuited na BJT. And then, yung taas daw is after biasing. So, ano daw type ng BJT yan? And ano yung operating mode niya? So, paano ba natin malalaman anong type ng BJT to? So, tingin muna tayo dun sa bottom EBD. So, again, this is at thermal equilibrium dahil open-circuited yung BJT natin. So, hanap tayo ng area dun sa EBD wherein kaya nating i-drawing ng straight line yung Fermi level. Definitely dun sa gitna. So having that, Fermi level natin malapit dun sa conduction band. Diba? So yung E and yung C. So in this case, sige, pag malapit sa conduction band, that is an N-type. So yung nasa E natin, that is an N-type. Next, sa B naman. Sa B, yung malapit sa Fermi level ay yung valence band. So that means, it's a P-type. That in mind, alam mo na agad yung sagot. Kasi wala naman NPP, right? Anyway, so NPN. So, ang problema is, ano ngayon yung operating mode na nasa taas? Sige, let's see. For example, mag-drawing tayo ng electrons dun sa E. Sa tingin nyo ba, kapag nag-diffuse yung electrons papunta sa C, makakarating kaya yung electrons na yan? Well, in this case, kasi sobrang steep nung slope natin papuntang B. That means, halos walang makakapuntang electrons dun sa C. So that means, it's in cutoff. So ang NPN natin is in cutoff. The answer is letter C. So explain later ng next lecture natin in detail kung how this works. Yan. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a part video. So for the first part, ito have 10 questions more. So para hindi rin overwhelming video natin. So i-cut na natin siya. Kasi 20 minutes na tayo. So yan, sige, stay tuned. I will upload siguro second video the day after I upload this one. So okay, last item. Which of the following statement is about a non-degenerate semiconductor thermal equilibrium and T is greater than 0 Kelvin with voltage profile shown? Ayan, sige. So meron tayong voltage and then meron yung area across the semiconductor. Okay, letter A. Electric field is positive throughout the semiconductor. Well, kung titingnan natin curve natin, tingnan natin siya sa gitna, we can see na this is not the case. Kasi at around negative A, voltage is rising. Pero pagkatapos ng 0, pupuntang A, we can see na pababa na yung voltage. So, this is false kasi may times na negative yung voltage natin. So, A is false. Next. The band gap energy, the semiconductor, is at least 0.65 electron volts. So, remember guys, di ba yung band gap energy natin is fixed? So, ibig sabihin, depende yung band gap energy natin sa mismong element or compound na ginamit for the semiconductor. Eh, ang electric field natin nagbabago. So, it doesn't mean na yun din yung energy, band gap energy profile na to. So, this is false. And so, letter C. Positive currents move away from the center of the semiconductor. So, again, hatiin natin siya at 0.0. So, we can see na on the other side, so we can see na on both sides, parang nagmo-move away siya from the center. So, meron po sa negative side, meron sa positive side. So, ayan. That's why it's 2. So, letter D, this is false kasi, di ba, sa ating curve right here, merong areas na, yes, it's linear, pero meron, especially yung 0 to A, na may exponential pag-rise ng voltage natin. So, this is not. Ang sagot is A, B, and D. So, yan. Thank you guys for watching. So, see you guys sa next video.